The bold and the beautiful continues to twist and turn in ways that keep fans glued to every new episode. And the latest developments surrounding Liam Spencer, Hope Logan, Carter Walton, and Ivy Forrester prove that the drama is nowhere near over. The soap has been teasing the possibility of a Liam and Hope reunion for months, dropping breadcrumbs here and there, suggesting that the couple who once defined destiny might still have a chance at finding their way back to each other. Yet just as quickly as those hints appear, they vanish, leaving fans frustrated and uncertain. This time, however, the stakes are higher than ever, because the fallout from Hope's pursuit of Carter and Liam's lingering pain may open the door for Ivy to swoop in and stake her claim. For years, Liam has been torn between his love for Hope and the messy, tangled web of choices that has defined his life. Every time the two of them seemed poised for a reunion, something has intervened. A betrayal, a new romance, a secret exposed, or a twist in the family's endless rivalries. Fans have learned to temper their expectations, knowing that nothing is ever guaranteed in the world of Los Angeles' most glamorous and destructive family dynasty. But the current storyline has put Liam in an even more precarious position than before. Hope, desperate for stability and determined to break free from the toxic push and pull with Liam, has turned to Carter Walton. Carter represents everything Liam has failed to provide her: loyalty, consistency, peace. He isn't haunted by ghosts of betrayal or constant waffling. And now whispers suggest that Hope might not just date Carter, but go as far as marrying him, even eloping if necessary, just to prove to herself and the world that she's done with Liam. If Hope truly does marry Carter, Liam's entire world collapses. He has been clinging to the belief that no matter what happened between them, no matter how many times they strayed, they were destined to circle back to each other. Watching Hope say "I do" to Carter would be more than heartbreak, it would be devastation. Divorce and annulments may be common courtesy in soapland, but for Liam, the symbolism of Hope standing beside another man at the altar cuts deeper than any previous betrayal. For the first time in years, he may accept that his chance with Hope is truly gone. And this is where Ivy Forrester re-enters the picture. Ivy has long been lingering on the edges of Liam's orbit. Once she thought she had a real chance with him. Once she believed that their connection could develop into something lasting. But she learned the hard way that Liam's heart was always chained to Hope. Now, with Hope stepping away, Ivy sees her moment. She knows Liam's pattern show he spirals when he loses Hope, how he needs comfort and reassurance, how he's most vulnerable when his life feels empty. Ivy is ready to be that comfort, even if it means being the woman who steps in only because another woman stepped away. She won't hesitate to seize the opening. Ivy can promise Liam a fresh start, free from the baggage of his history with Hope. She can tell him he doesn't have to keep torturing himself with what-ifs, that he can finally close that chapter and begin writing a new one with her. And she can back up her words with actions, pushing him to create new memories, new intimacies, new reasons to smile. If that means seducing him, drawing him into her arms, even luring him into bed, then Ivy is prepared to do exactly that. She knows Liam's weaknesses, and she knows how to play them. But even as Ivy plots her way into Liam's bed and heart, the ripple effects are already brewing. Because if Hope thinks she can walk away from Liam and focus on Carter without consequence, she's mistaken. Hope may convince herself she's moved on, but her feelings for Liam are never truly gone. And if she hears that Ivy and Liam have crossed the line, her composure will crack. Even if she's Carter's wife, she will not tolerate Ivy taking her place in Liam's heart. Jealousy will rise, confusion will fester, and Hope will once again find herself pulled in two directions, despite all her promises to leave Liam behind. For Liam, Ivy's advances could become both salvation and poison. On one hand, Ivy could give him a lifeline at a time when he feels abandoned and betrayed, helping him rebuild his confidence. On the other, her presence could entangle him in a rebound relationship that masks his true feelings and keeps him from healing. It won't erase Hope from his mind, but it may create enough noise to drown her out for a while. And in the twisted logic of soap opera love, That might be enough to spark a triangle that reignites the fire between all three characters. Hope's jealousy, Carter's insecurity, Liam's indecision, and Ivy's ambition all combine into a recipe for chaos. The show has already laid the groundwork for a messy, drawn-out storyline where alliances shift and loyalties are tested. If Hope and Carter do go through with their wedding, the cracks will start showing the moment Hope realizes she can't stand the idea of Ivy and Liam together. And if Liam, in his grief, succumbs to Ivy's seduction, the fallout could be catastrophic. Carter could end up humiliated, Hope could be exposed as unfaithful to her vows, and Liam could once again find himself at the center of a love quadrangle. Ivy is playing with fire, but she's confident she can handle the burn. She's willing to take second place if it means ultimately winning Liam's heart. She's betting that if Hope closes the door, Liam will eventually accept Ivy as more than a distraction. He'll see her as a real partner. But in the volatile world of the bold and the beautiful, nothing ever plays out cleanly. A night in bed with Ivy might give Liam temporary comfort, but it could also ignite the kind of scandal that shatters every fragile bond in his life. As the drama unfolds, fans are left wondering, will Hope really marry Carter? And if she does, how long will it last? Will Liam resist Ivy's advances, or will grief drive him straight into her arms? And when Hope sees Ivy in Liam's bed, will it reignite her passion for Liam and tear her marriage apart before it even begins? One thing is certain, this storyline is about to take the canvas of the bold and the beautiful into a storm of betrayal, jealousy, seduction, and heartbreak. And with Ivy stepping up to claim Liam just as Hope tries to leave him behind, the chaos is only beginning. In The Bold and the Beautiful, the fallout from Ivy Forrester's painful confession leaves her shaken and vulnerable. But rather than let the despair consume her, Ivy redirects all of that raw energy onto the one battlefield where she believes she can take control, the fashion world. Ivy has lived in the shadows of the Hippolyte saga for years, always the other woman, the supporting character in someone else's love story. The one who never quite managed to step out from behind Hope Logan's glow. But this time is different. This time, Ivy refuses to be defined by the wreckage of her personal life. Instead, she sets her sights on the runway, determined to make her mark on the fashion house that carries her family's name and legacy. She is no longer content to orbit around Hope and Liam. She wants to take center stage in the only arena where she can fight back without words, Forrester Creations. The upcoming Model Designer Showcase offers Ivy her opening. It is more than just another presentation. It's a chance for the Forresters to make a bold statement to the industry. The theme is innovation, reinvention, and pushing boundaries. For Ridge, it is about reinforcing Forrester's dominance over international rivals. For Hope, it is about cementing hope for the future as a global powerhouse. But for Ivy, it is about survival. She knows she cannot compete with Hope for Liam's heart without tearing herself apart, but she can compete with Hope in the studio and on the runway. If she succeeds, she will no longer be seen as a woman chasing someone else's life. She will be seen as a visionary, a designer in her own right, and a model who can command the stage without being compared to anyone else. Ivy throws herself into the work. Days blur into nights at the design desk. She sketches obsessively, driven by a hunger not just to prove herself, but to reinvent herself. The collection she envisions is daring, unapologetic, infused with risk. Her sketches pulse with bold cuts, unconventional fabrics, and silhouettes that straddle the line between wearable art and rebellion. Colleagues begin to whisper about her intensity. Some admire it, others fear it. And then, a sketch leaks. No one knows how. Maybe a disgruntled intern snapped a photo. Maybe Ivy herself, in a moment of reckless vulnerability, left it where it could be found. Whatever the case, the image spreads fast first through industry blogs, then across social media, until suddenly everyone is buzzing about the mystery Forrester design that looks nothing like the brand's established style. At first, the leak works in Ivy's favor. Critics call it fresh, bold, disruptive. Forrester meets rebellion. One fashion journalist gushes. but the internal consequences are far more complicated. Within the company, leaks are considered betrayal. Protecting intellectual property is sacred, and Rich Forrester has spent his life ensuring Forrester Creations is respected as much for its integrity as its artistry. To Rich, this is not just about a drawing, it's about trust. If Ivy leaked the sketch deliberately, she didn't just break protocol, she broke the family. And even if she didn't, her work is now under a microscope. Rich summons Ivy to his office. His tone is measured but stern. This house thrives on creativity, he tells her, but it cannot survive betrayal. Tell me, Ivy, did you do this? Ivy's heart pounds. She knows the truth could ruin her. She also knows denial may not save her if Rich has already decided she's guilty. Torn between self-preservation and honesty, she doubles down. I didn't leak it, she insists, though her voice trembles. But I won't apologize for what I created. That sketch is mine, and it's the best work I've ever done. Rich studies her, torn. On one hand, he sees the fire of a true Forrester, a woman willing to risk everything for her art. On the other, he sees recklessness, ego, and desperation, qualities that can sink a brand faster than any rival. The decision weighs heavily. Should he champion Ivy's raw talent or protect Forrester Creations from imploding under scandal? Meanwhile, Hope watches from the sidelines. The tension between her and Ivy is no longer just about Liam. It's about the company, the collections, and the spotlight. Hope recognizes that Ivy's rise threatens not only her personal life, but also her professional standing. If Ivy becomes the new face of Forrester Innovation, hope for the future could lose its influence. Hope tries to warn Ridge, reminding him of Ivy's past impulsiveness. But Ridge is conflicted. He knows Hope's words are colored by personal rivalry, and he cannot allow emotion to dictate a business decision. The company is bigger than any feud. The leaked sketch becomes the centerpiece of the showcase, whether Ridge likes it or not. The press demands to see it. Buyers whisper about it. Investors push for it to walk the runway. Ridge ultimately concedes, gambling that Ivy's design could catapult Forrester into a new era, but the risk is monumental. If it fails, Forrester Creations could lose millions. If it succeeds, Ivy could eclipse Hope entirely. The night of the showcase arrives. The runway is lined with press, cameras, and buyers from Paris, Milan, and New York. Hope unveils her collection first, a safe and elegant set of designs that earn polite applause. But when Ivy's piece takes the stage, the atmosphere shifts. The model struts down the runway in Ivy's creation, and the crowd erupts. Flashbulbs explode. Gasps ripple. Ivy's risk has paid off, at least in the moment. She basks in the thunderous reaction, feeling for the first time like she is not standing in anyone's shadow, but commanding the light. But victory comes with a cost. Backstage, Ridge warns her. This was your moment, he says. But one moment doesn't build a career. One leak doesn't earn you trust. If you want a future here, Ivy, you have to prove that you can rise without burning the house down. His words linger, a reminder that her triumph may still be temporary. The fallout begins almost immediately. Fashion blogs praise Ivy as the future of Forrester. Investors clamor for more of her designs. But whispers about the leak grow louder. Was it really an accident? Did Ivy sacrifice the company's ethics for her ambition? The more her star rises, the more suspicion follows her. Even those who cheer her talent question whether she can be trusted. Ivy is caught between two worlds. On one side, she has finally achieved recognition as a designer, no longer just the girl who once loved Liam or the one who stood on the sidelines. On the other, she risks alienating the very family and company she fought so hard to join. The sketch that made her could also unmake her, proof of both brilliance and betrayal. As Ridge reflects on his decision, he knows he has unleashed something volatile. Ivy has the potential to reshape Forrester Creations, but only if she doesn't destroy it first. He must decide whether to keep her close, nurture her, and gamble on her fire or cut her off before she burns the brand to the ground. For Ivy, the choice is even more stark. She can let her ambition consume her, or she can learn restraint, channeling her talent without sacrificing integrity. But restraint has never been Ivy's strong suit. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, restraint rarely wins. As the story propels forward, fans are left on edge. Will Ivy cement her place as Forrester's new shining star? Or will her desperation to rise push her into crossing another unforgivable line? Will Ridge's gamble prove to be genius, or the decision that fractures the family empire? And will Hope allow Ivy to claim victory, or will she strike back with her own brand of vengeance? One thing is certain, Ivy Forrester has finally stepped out of the shadows. But whether she stands in the spotlight or burns in it will define the next explosive chapter of the bold and the beautiful.